And we are live.
Hey, it's about
Hey.
time we're live.
Yeah, I know. I don't feel live after last night.
What? Oh, yeah, you went crazy, right?
Went crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy. Halloween and me.
I just did trick or treating.
You dragged your kids around and then ate their candy, right?
I don't have kids.
Your nephews.
Whoever they were, I ate the candy.
It just went down the street and grabbed children's candy and took it.
People are saying, doesn't matter how old you are, you should go trick or treating. So, hey, I went and got myself some candy.
Yeah, but you're supposed to go to the door and knock and say trick or treat, not just take bags of candy.
Technicalities.
But the good news is that the parents will love you because you saved money. You saved them money on dental bills.
Yeah, exactly. And the single moms love it too. Let me tell you, to talk about a treat.
Woo! Well, hello everyone who is watching. I see we have Josh Pittman. So that's Canada covered, and we've got Malta Scott already. No, Amber won't be here tonight, but it's okay. You are. Amber is rehearsing for a really big show that she's doing at the Flynn Theater in Burlington. So if you're up in that area, there's an upcoming show of The Prom, and it's actually Amber's alter ego in it, but it should be good, and they still have some tickets, so get them now. Hey, Gary, welcome.
What's up, everybody?
Flower Fan is here, and Big J. We got a good. Oh, and here's a comment already.
No, that
we got Rocco. So tonight is Amberless Chat.
Amberless Chat and a voiceless chat.
Yeah, as long as we can keep Rocco going.
Yeah, keep me going.
So we were just talking about Halloween, and I have oh, thank you, Scott. Oh, so last night I went
turkey hero.
Last night I went down to the New York City Halloween parade, which is gigantic. It starts at 7:00, and at about 10:30 when we were going home, it was still going, and we were exhausted.
That goes all night long.
I know, it's craziness. So if you look down at the bottom there, I have a picture of me in my Halloween costume, but I want other people who were in Halloween costumes last night or over the weekend or whenever you did Halloween, send your pictures to amberlemay@gmail.com, and I'll gather them up. And at some point tonight, we'll take a look at all the costumes, but I'm not showing mine off unless I get some other people to show theirs. So send in your pictures. Rocco, stop that.
I didn't say a thing.
Yes, you did. And Big J says, where is that? I was in a band last night.
A band?
Yeah. Band of J's.
Band of J's.
And Robusta Cap is here. Hey, Robusta. I hope everybody who's logging in heard me. Please send us your Halloween costume photos, and we'll show them off later in the show after I have a chance to upload them all. We want to see. We want to know. So, your Big J was Sam. I can never say this.
Ambutica.
Yes. They are a drumming band up in Vermont, and they're in all the parades and make a great racket. That's a lot of fun.
So wait, you play drums, Big J?
Well, Big J used to play the washboard with a band.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what he's doing now, but I'm sure he's good.
Did he actually clean clothes while he was at marching? Little side cash as you're drumming away.
I don't know what he was doing. We'll find out. Let us know, Big J. And then Robusta Cap says her Halloween show went well, which is fantastic. If you didn't get to see the interview with Robusta on Amber Live, check it out. It is up there. But last night you sat on your butt and watched horror movies. That sounds nice. I may do that tonight and tomorrow. They've been watching horror movies for like a month now, but this happens every year. I start off slow and I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then I start watching horror movies. And then all of a sudden it's November and I'm like, but I still want to watch horror movies.
You can still watch them.
I know, but they're cramming Christmas down our throats already. So,
Oh, that's a horror.
yeah, that song started playing.
What song is that?
You know, the Mariah Carey Nightmare.
Oh, that broad. Yeah.
Yeah. There were a couple of very funny TikTok type videos I saw today where they took the scene from Jaws where I think it's Shaw smashes the radio on the boat. But
Yeah.
what they do is they have that song start to play and then he just smashes the hell out of the radio. And there's another one where the song starts to play and then I think it's Joan Crawford takes a cigarette and lights it on the record that's playing and it screeches to a halt and she just lights her cigarette. I don't know what movie that's from, but it's a great little scene.
I don't know.
Oh, Big J says he played the Shakers because
shaking it
he's
up.
a mover and a shaker.
Nice.
Oh, gotta love our Big J. So Big J, I know you gave us a Halloween video that we played on the Halloween show, but I was hoping you also had some Halloween. Did you have a different costume that you wore for Halloween? Send it. Did you go trick or treating, Big J? Send us some pictures.
Yeah, and what kind of candy did everybody get? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Or are people not going trick or treating?
So we have a big question for Rocco.
What's that?
Did you get a deer strike estimate? And he probably shouldn't ask.
All I know is my deductible right now, and that's enough.
That's always more than enough.
Yeah. Damn
deduct.
I'm afraid to drive.
You scared?
Well, I'm afraid to drive, but I'm afraid to drive like 90.
You shouldn't be driving 90 anyway.
You shouldn't be doing a lot of things.
I know. So you took the kids out for Halloween. Did you do anything else?
No. That was it.
Did you watch a horror movie with them?
No, actually, I did come back here and watched Halloween Ends.
Oh.
Which,
you were like, yay, it's over.
Well, I didn't realize there was one before that I hadn't seen. Was it Halloween Kills?
Well, it has to kill before it can end.
Yeah, and then the 2018 remake of Halloween, where they said it was Jamie Lee Curtis's last thing. I'm like, okay, but she's got 2 more movies after it, so stop bullshitting me. And even though what happened at the end of Halloween Ends, you never know.
Oh, they've killed those Jason and Freddy and Michael Myers so many times, and they just keep coming back.
Yeah, but did you see how they killed Michael Myers?
Well, I know, but it doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't matter.
They'll come up with some excuse. I mean,
they him into silly putty or something.
Didn't they bring him back from space, frozen in space one time?
I think that was Jason.
Oh, you're right. That was Jason. Yes. Yeah. So Gary says he passed out candy. They had a whopping 1 kid that came trick or treating and 100 pieces of candy left. Now,
love that.
The big question I have, Gary, is how many pieces are left now? There might have been 100 pieces of candy last night, but
that's why the trick is always buy something you like.
Exactly.
You know, you're probably going to end up with a lot of leftovers.
And if you have crappy candy, that's what you hand out first.
Yes.
Unless you're my friend Margaret, and then you go buy full-size candy bars and hand them out to the kids. And the next thing you know, there's hundreds of kids standing at your door.
There was a lot of people handing out full-size candy bars. I was surprised.
Oh, that's nice. How many did you take?
I got 3 Hershey bars and a Baby Ruth.
Oh, nice.
A couple of Reese's. One house. It was hilarious. I told the group of kids, I was like, hey, go up to that house. You didn't hit that yet. They're like, nobody's home. The house looks dark. I said, no, look in the window. You can see the TV. And sure enough, the TV's going, and you could see somebody's head. They're sitting on a couch in front of the window.
Ah.
So I said, go up to the door. They start knocking on the door. The person gets up, looks out the window, shuts the shade, and turns off the light. I was like, oh man, they should have done that before we were out, but still hilarious.
That is pretty funny. A little insulting.
Yeah. They were probably doing that for everybody, actually. So we left, they probably put the shade back up, waiting for the next group.
And go, ha
Suckers.
ha. So Gary says he has 80 pieces of candy left. That's some pretty good numbers there, Gary.
19 pieces of candy. What kind of candy, Gary?
And Malta says, we had no kids, but one of my elderly neighbors stopped by and I unloaded on her candy wise.
Yeah,
Good thing it was only candy wise. That's funny. Oh, so sounds like people were missing having kids at their house. You need more kids to come round. And the solution to that really is the full-size candy bar. You do that 1 year, and the next year you'll have a line of kids. I guarantee it.
That's a good thing.
Well, I mean, that is the question, because then it gets expensive handing out all that candy.
Well, then you just hand out the small things the next year.
Well, right. You switched back to the small ones, but I think the second year Margaret did it because they moved. What happened was they moved into their new house, and the first year they didn't get many kids. The next year we did a small haunted house on their front porch, and Margaret handed out full-size candy bars. And the next year she was handing out mini candy bars, but handing them out in packs of 10. So Gary says he sent the Hershey's mix bag.
That's a good one.
The miniatures, yeah. Those are fun though too, because then you can be like, oh well, I can have another one. It's so tiny.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You got at least 10 of them to figure it's a Hershey bar.
Right. And then you go, well, I didn't like those. Let me try the other flavor. Well, I got a couple of photos in from Big J and Sheila La. So I'm got those loaded up. Let's get some more photos in. I haven't seen Leah yet tonight. I wonder what she did for Halloween.
I remember she posted something. I don't remember what it was though.
Oh, I didn't see her post. So Flower Fan says she saw some of Hocus Pocus a couple of weeks ago, or Hocus Pocus 2 a couple of weeks ago, and that's the kind of scary movie that Flower Fan likes. That's is that your Halloween photo that you just sent me?
It's the only thing I got.
That's probably the scariest one of any that's come in. We'll show all these in a little while. I need more photos. Let's get them coming in. If you got a Halloween photo, hey, Stacy's here. Hello, Stacy.
Stacy.
I am collecting some Halloween photos for tonight's Amberless Chat, which I will load. I'm loading up, and when I get enough of them, we'll take a look at everybody's Halloween costumes. The good, the bad, and the Rocco. What are you laughing about?
Malta Scott.
This one?
Yeah. Always somebody who forgets it's Halloween, but they got change.
Yeah, well, Malta Scott, that's funny. She had nickels. In my town, there was a little old lady who had the bucket of pennies.
Yeah.
And she would give everybody one teaspoon full of pennies. She would scoop down in it, and whatever stuck to the spoon, she would dump in your bag.
She looked forward to Halloween just to get rid of all her pennies.
And just to piss off the kids, I think. But pennies were better than those damn little boxes of raisins.
Or even worse, when you stop by a dentist's house and they hand out toothbrushes.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I should have expected that.
That's what you get for going to the dentist. So Sheila, what I did for Halloween, if you didn't hear earlier, I went down to the New York City Halloween parade. We went out to dinner with a bunch of friends. Dwayne Scott Tierney was there. Chrissy B, who comes on Amber Chat once in a while, was there.
Rocco didn't get an invite. I'm just pointing that out.
Rocco was with his nephew and niece. Gosh,
Besides the point.
you were going to turn it down to begin with. And
I don't watch that parade anyway, the East Village parade. Every
Yeah.
time I've been there, I've been in it.
It's crazy. And then we had Jack was there, and a friend of Dwayne's was there. So there were 5 of us, and we had dinner at Dallas BBQ, and then went to the parade.
You went to Dallas BBQ? I'm surprised.
Yeah, that was Dwayne and Jimmy's, his friend's choice. That's where they had made a reservation when I said we were coming in, and he said, "Well, if you can get them to up the reservation, come on in and join us." So we went in and joined them. And I haven't been to Dallas BBQ in at least 10, 12 years. And it's fun. It's cheesy.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
The wings.
You went.
It's why?
Because you don't like chain places.
That's barely a chain. and it's cheap.
Yeah.
And the food's pretty good. The drinks are gigantic. And the other thing was, it wasn't crowded on Halloween night when everybody was going to be crowded in that area, anywhere near the parade. Anything below 23rd Street, forget it.
Yeah.
So we went there and had no problem getting seated or waited on. It was, there was plenty of table space. In fact, they weren't going to give us the big round table for the 5 of us at first, because they said we're not supposed to seat people at those tables unless the whole party's here. So we can give you regular tables. And then the manager was like, "But you guys are in great costumes, so come on over. We'll just give you the table. It's fine." And then, we had 2 people who hadn't shown up yet when we first got there. So we went over and sat down, and we had a grand old time. They gave us dum-dums at the end, and some chocolate covered Entenmann's, like little donut things for dessert that were free. And it was very silly. So Gary says, when I was a kid, we had 3 nights to go trick-or-treating. The night before, we did the lower end of town. Halloween night, we treated on our neighborhood. And then the night after Halloween, we went to the upper end of town where we got all the money. We would come home with 5 to 10 hours from that area town. That's crazy, Gary. 3 nights.
Oh, man.
Never heard of any of that. That's kind of cool.
Since the last night is money.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of like the night before.
I've done that in New Jersey.
Not for trick-or-treating, but the night before is the trick night.
Oh, no, we would trick-or-treat.
I forget what they call that. My mother used to, when they were teenagers, they would do that. That's when you went out and did all the tricks. And then the next, on Halloween, you went out trick-or-treating and got the candy. So my mother talks about doing something, I think they called it tic-tacking, and they would take dry corn so that it was hard, and then you would find somebody like seated near their window, and you would start throwing a piece of corn at the window, so it would just make that little click. And then you'd hide, and they'd be like looking out the window to see who was there. And then when they sat back down, you'd throw another piece of corn. And then the devil's night
thing to do. To go cow tipping after?
Of course.
How much did you tip them? 20%?
Tipped them all the way.
We can milk this cow stuff forever.
Yes. Moo. So Big J, I will send you a link in a little bit when I get a moment here. So anybody who's joined us, if you haven't sent me a picture of your Halloween costume or a great Halloween costume that you got a picture of, I'm collecting those to put on screen in a few minutes. When we get to that point, we can talk about them. And we'll have some fun with Halloween. So, but in the meantime, we haven't gotten, and I know ages ago, Sheila asked this question. What was for dinner, Rocco?
I haven't eaten yet.
Oh, what will be for dinner?
I have no idea. Soup.
Okay.
I haven't gone shopping in a while.
Yeah.
I got those things, McNuggets again.
I was gonna like make something or get something decent, and then Amber and I had to record a interview, and then I was talking. It was with Robert Blackmon, and then I ended up talking with him for like an hour afterwards, and then I was like, "Oh my god, it's too late to do anything, and I don't have anything here. I had needed to go to the store, and so I just ended up ordering Chinese." So I had some Szechuan shrimp, which was really good. Yeah. I didn't want to do it, but I had to.
Yeah.
Joanne had soup.
What kind of soup?
It's good food, you know.
I had soup last night, but I'll have it again tonight.
I like it.
I need my voice. It's gone.
Yeah. Joanne wants to know where Amber is. Amber is at a rehearsal for a show that her alter ego Bob is doing in Burlington. So um, Amber is unfortunately unable to join us this week, and we do have a show this week. We've got two great guests. We've got Kyle, who is a transgender author, Kyle Lukoff, who has written a bunch of books that have been banned. And then we've got Robert Blackmon talking about his brand new book, Home 365, about lifestyles. So those will be great. And then the week after that, when Amber's show is going up, unfortunately, we're going to do a rerun. But this week we have a brand new show with brand new Rocco. So, oh, Rocco, look at that.
Hey, let me tell you, when I went through the drive-thru tonight, I made sure to see if they had them. They didn't have them yet. Hopefully a couple of days.
Gary said they had lots of candy and Mom pulled the wagon with all the candy in me. That was very nice of Mom. Roberta had Chinese takeout as well, chicken with eggplant. It was great.
Oh.
That's pretty. Yeah, you're making Rocco hungry.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid, money and stuff, but I'm thinking maybe I will get some Chinese.
Uh-oh. Ron says I still can't smell or taste. I'm assuming that's from some COVID. Ron, when did you have that? How long has that been going on? I feel like you've talked about that before, but maybe not. Maybe I'm confusing it.
I don't know. I think Ron does smell.
5 months.
5 months. Oh my god,
that's awful. Ugh, I would be so miserable. I love eating. If you couldn't. Right. Right. That's right. Right after New York.
Oh, did you get it in New York while you were here?
I blame Amber. Ron, I got very sick this summer. Well, but it was just a really bad cold. I tested 3 times for COVID and never came back positive. But then everybody I was around had COVID. So I don't know what was going on, but I never managed to test positive. Ron says, yes, got it right. Got it in New York. That's too bad. And too bad that your taste and smell are screwed up still. Hopefully that'll return soon. Gary had baked chicken, corn, and mashed potatoes. They just finished dinner. That sounds delicious, Gary. You can come over and cook for Rocco anytime.
I got money on my Uber Eats account.
Let's
see.
How did you end up with money there?
Because when I was going to, the first time I got into an accident, I didn't hit a deer that time. Or should I say the deer didn't hit me that time. It was a semi-tractor trailer. Remember that? Anyway. So I thought I had to take an Uber to go get a rental car. But I didn't. So now I got $100 on my Uber account.
And they won't return it to you?
Oh, yeah, they could,
but it's more fun to have it be pretend money that you don't have to think about.
Exactly. It's like money in the bank. All of a sudden, it's been so long. I'm like, oh, wait, it's not going to cost me a cent because that money's gone anyway.
Yeah.
It's been like 6 months, 7 months.
So Big J was sick after his Orlando trip, so he had to recover. I remember
Really?
that, Big J. Yeah, I think he came on Amber Chat with his mask on
Oh.
because he didn't want anyone to get a computer virus. Malta Scott had boiled dinner with kielbasa and parsley potatoes.
That
Nice.
sounds good.
Nice. I made something with kielbasa recently that Rocco would hate because I like to do cabbage and onions with kielbasa and pierogies, which is delicious as well. Rocco would be picking out the kielbasa and the
No.
pierogies.
The only thing I wouldn't eat was the cabbage.
Well, exactly, which is a major portion of that dinner. So you'd be picking out the kielbasa and the pierogies.
Or I'd be calling Uber Eats.
Oh, that too. So do we have any more Halloween costumes coming in? Who's out there? Who's got
How
a
many
costume?
you got?
I got 4 of them.
I think we can do better than that. Come on, people.
Who's got a costume
Yeah,
first?
we got something old. Let's see it. Oh, Popeye's chicken.
Oh, here's some pictures. Let me pull them down. We got some more here. All right. Let me process those and get them up, and then we can. And I need to send Big J. That's right. Here we go, Big J. I'm sending you the link.
Is he coming on?
Sure.
Right on.
Not sure what email to send it to. Sending it to the Glow Man. Is that right, Big J?
He's gonna tell what really happened.
Yep.
Oh, Stacy, you had popcorn shrimp from Popeyes. I was just thinking about that. I might have to. I don't know. I don't know yet.
So many choices, Rocco. So many choices.
And they're all on my phone. All I gotta do is press buttons, and the stuff arrives at my door.
Does it?
10 years ago, when I moved back out to Long Island from Queens, there was nobody that delivered food. It was a problem.
I remember that. We would order Chinese and then have to drive 20 minutes to go pick it up.
Seriously, what the hell was that? So this is a revelation, I'm telling you.
It's craziness. Craziness.
I can get food from anywhere now. Pretty much.
All right. Couple more. I'm almost there. You can get food from anywhere?
Just about.
Very nice.
Shaw's Halal Food.
Shaw's?
Yeah, you familiar with that place?
The grocery store?
No, it's a fast food, but it's all halal food. I never had it, but I was in there the other day. I was like, whoa, this stuff looks good. Some of it. Oh, I'm sure it was, Stacy. They got some good shrimp.
And Gary says they had the cabbage and onions and pierogies a couple nights ago.
Oh.
Now you're scaring Rocco.
Oh, no, I'm not scared.
You say that now.
You guys are in different parts of the country and whatnot. I'm not terrified at all.
All right. Well, even though he doesn't have a good report for us tonight.
How dare you?
I know. Here comes Big J.
Hey, Big J.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going great.
Good.
That's good to hear.
We've gotten in a bunch of costumes and photos, and so we'll take a look through some of these. Anybody else sending any in? It's the last chance.
Yep, send in those pictures. We love to see them.
So, Big J, what was the real story you wanted to tell Rocco?
Well, I started off my journey on Delta Airlines. We traveled from Burlington to LaGuardia. Had a couple of hours to be there, and then we went from LaGuardia to Orlando. We landed and went to the hotel called Jury Plaza Hotel. And what we did there is we saw some more awesome people that have the same disability as I have, and we got to hang out for a bit. There was an ice cream social event, and then it was opening night. Then the first time that we went to was Magic Kingdom. And during Magic Kingdom, we did some rides, check out all the amazing shows. And one of the pictures that you told the story was Russell was called Disney Jail, but it wasn't Disney Jail. It was me pretending to be Maurice's father in the show of Enchanted Tales with Belle. And another thing that we did is we conquered our fears of the spookiest of the Haunted Mansion. And I went shopping for my girlfriend for surviving the ride also. So I gave her a little t-shirt as well. And then we kept on going until all the people that were getting ready to go for the, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Parade, we went back home and rested up for the second night, which is we did Disney's Hollywood Studios, and there was a picture of me and my girlfriend, doing guitar poses because we rode Rock and Roller Coaster. And then we had a dance party that night, and I was dressed as Michael Jackson for the special night of that. So then after that, it was my flight back home.
And then you got sick.
And unfortunately, I was sick twice, so I had to recover for a while. So that's why Russell took over my spot for watching all the pictures that I posted
last time. Yes.
So that's my story of my journey to Orlando.
Yes, nice. And you had a lot of fun.
Oh, it was a great opportunity to be there.
Yeah, I'm sorry we didn't get to meet up, but I know you were busy and
I understand.
I was leaving when you showed up, basically. So
yeah, I wish it would last longer, but hopefully by next time I go to Orlando, I'll be there longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully I won't be there as long because it was 11 nights. Cabbage fried and bacon sandwich.
Yeah.
Yep,
Rocco and cabbage fried and bacon sandwich. He'll like it.
It's like a McRib, but
it's got better vegetables in it.
Yes. All right. Let's look at some Halloween photos.
Right. Here we go.
All right. So we got one now. Some of these I'm like, who was this from already? This is Sheila looking quite lovely.
Awesome. Great picture.
And looks like Sheila is having a drink. What are you drinking there, Sheila? Let us know. And then Malta Scott sent a couple in of his dog.
Oh, wiener dog.
He mentioned
great costume of a dog. Beautiful.
I bark at bad costumes. I like that.
Cute.
And I think this one was from Gary.
Gary.
The sloth was waiting to hand out candy.
Oh, nice one, Gary. I like it.
Now that's scarier than you know, and I haven't watched it yet, Gary, but I think I forget what streaming service has it. There's a horror movie out called Slaughterhouse.
Oh yeah.
About an evil sloth. So that's scarier than you know, Gary. Scarier than you know.
Oh, cool, Sheila.
I was drinking a vodka and cranberry juice, and Malta Scott says, I used to own a boarding house. I know how to get boys to eat veggies. There's a lot of jokes there, Malta Scott, and I'm going to avoid them.
I'm not saying a word.
We'll get shut down. We have a great picture from Robusta Cap from her Halloween show.
Oh, I love it. Love the pumpkins and the spider webs. Beautiful design.
That is fantastic. I love that.
Girl looks
beautiful.
Familiar.
Yeah, is that, do we know that girl? Is she famous? And we're not talking about the one in the Halloween outfit. She is famous. We know that.
Yeah.
And then we get to this one.
Yep, that's my costume that I wore for Halloween this year, and I named it myself, but it's a different story. It's called the Purgos, and this guy, is about my costume. And I also wore that for San Balicata show that I did. So we marched in Five Sisters neighborhood, and we all dressed up, and it was a wild, fun show.
And Robusta says, "That's my aunt."
Oh,
And
cool.
I like it, Big J.
Thank you, Joanne.
So, and then there's a couple of pictures left. There's this one from this guy who went all out.
Ah, yes. Rocco Zambone.
Yeah, I went to a party. I had to wear something.
Now, you said you were trick or treating. I think people were just throwing candy at you, trying to get you to stay away.
Well, that's usually what happens.
And
They throw something.
Then the picture that you saw, that was me at a Halloween movie night. So I went to Belcade School to check out some, a movie called Halloween Town. So
I've seen Halloween Town,
and I was just amazed by all the stuff on that. It was great movie.
Glad you enjoyed it. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Sheila, I will say hello to Amber.
Thank you, Stacy.
We got a nice look. And now, as promised, I said I would show you all my costume.
And here it is.
That
Spuds McKenzie?
No, that's the vampire potato head. And you know what he says? He says, "I want to suck your spud."
So you were
You do the monster mash.
You were a potato head vampire. Nice.
Yes. If you're going to be a potato head, be a vampire too.
Were you able to move around the eyes and mouth and stuff?
What do you mean?
Mr. Potato Head, you can remove the eyes.
Yeah. It actually, so Halloween Town just celebrated 25 years. And
that's awesome.
Oh, and yes, the on this thing, this costume, the eyes, the mouth, the mustache, and the lips are all velcroed on, and they come off. And there's actually a second set that's all women. The woman, it's all female. So I in P-Town this summer, the theme was Toyland, and I mixed and matched the male and female parts. And I went as the transgendered potato head.
Oh, cute.
And then for Halloween, I used an old Chinese plastic takeout container and cut out the teeth and sewed them on, punched holes in them and sewed them on there. And then the cape is a cape that I had that I wore when I went to Transylvania.
So nice.
And yes, that was at Union Square in the subway, Scott.
Yep, I've been there.
And thank you, Stacy. Yep. And thank you, Joanne.
Yeah, thanks, Joanne, for all the nice, and thanks to all the comments too.
And Big J has been there. He has been all over New York.
Oh man, such a wild ride there and back.
Yes.
You should come out to Long Island next time. You'll be
thrilled. Yeah,
you go to a shopping mall.
Fly down to LaGuardia, and then you can take the train out to Long Island, and you can go hang out with Rocco.
I'll come pick you up along with Russell.
Oh, he's going to be nice.
We'll go to the wineries, get drunk.
I don't want to get drunk when I'm in New York.
Oh, Gary saw Slaughterhouse, says it was scary. Oh, that's
really? It was really scary.
Now I need to watch that.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet. We've been talking about watching it.
Speaking of which, did you hear about the teacher that showed the Winnie the Pooh?
No, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
Yeah.
Oh,
they showed like 20 minutes of it to the class before they realized. It was a fourth grade teacher, I think.
Was she not watching it?
Before they realized.
Oh, that's awful. I haven't
funny.
I haven't watched that movie yet. I can't decide how I feel about it.
I don't know. I watched some horror movie that had the banana splits killing people.
I
So
remember. Stacy says, "Great jobs on your costumes, everyone."
Oh, thank you, Stacy. You're
And
awesome.
Scott says, "I'm going to Rocco's Emporium in Newark."
yeah, you gotta come. I'm telling you, we're having 50% off sale now. It's scary.
Robusta, are you talking about Slaughterhouse or or Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? I think Winnie the Pooh.
I never watched that one, but I've seen Winnie the Pooh movies.
Yeah, this is a adult horror film. It's not meant for kids, but it's
no. They
Oh, by the way,
get around the licensing because it's public domain, but at least I guess the characters are.
oh, Robusta was right. Winnie the Pooh, yeah.
It's bad.
It looked like it's bad.
And speaking of horror movies, Five Nights at Freddy's the movie just came out.
I saw it already.
Yeah, how was it?
Yeah, it's okay. Have you seen it, Big J?
I'm planning on seeing it because I played the games.
If you're going to see it opening weekend,
so I wasn't gonna go see it because I played the game like once or twice.
Yeah,
and it's actually, the game is scary.
Yeah,
and then I turned on the TV and discovered that it's also on Peacock.
Peacock, yep.
So you can stream it. So I just was like, well, then I'll watch it. So I did. It's fine. I can see why people who are very into the game loved it. And why it was a big hit, because there's a lot of people who love the game. So
yes, that's when I first learned about it, I didn't know what was gonna happen, so I decided to check it out, and then I became a fan instantly, just loving the animatronics. And
do you know the game, Rocco?
Never heard of it.
And the part in the game is where you play the security and you have to look out for those animatronics because you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you have
the animatronics are like killing people.
Yeah, you're the security guard
at
like
Split movie.
It's basically like a off-brand Chuck E. Cheese that's and so there are giant animatronics, and your job is to avoid them and survive the night, basically.
Yeah, and the first one is called Five Nights at Freddy's, and then the second one is Five Nights at Freddy's. So there's a range and variety of games of Freddy's themes that I played.
They cut the power and they don't go home then.
Once the power is cut, then it's game over, because no Freddy or Foxy or any of the other animatronics could come coming after you. So
yep,
it's a fun experiment for me to play, but I'll go watch the movie.
I'm surprised you weren't too scared. So Sheila has a boyfriend. Congratulations!
Hey, congratulations!
Hey.
And thanks to my girlfriend Chelsea for an awesome time in Orlando, Florida.
And Gary and Robusta both saw 5 Nights and enjoyed it. That's great.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, and Stacy saw the banana split horror movie and said it was creepy.
It was creepy. I saw it a while ago, but I was surprised.
Stacy also says, watch all 7 Saw movies if you want to be scared.
I'm a big fan.
Those are crazy.
I like gory movies. They're fun.
Yeah, and I do have to say, I don't think the sequels are great. They're fun, but the original Saw is brilliant. Like the writing of it was just fantastic, and it's well put together. It's scary, and the ending is just mind blowing. It's just it's a great movie.
And like I said, as my disability, I still love doing impressions, and I can definitely do Billy the Puppet. Trust me, if you've been into any of the Saw movies, I could definitely do his voice.
Can you?
Yes, I can.
Can you do it right now?
Sure, why not? Because it's after Halloween anyway. Live or die. Make your choice. See?
That's pretty good, Big J.
Thank you.
So, do you know about Wally's Wonderland? Is that a movie? Is that a movie, Robusta, or another game?
If it's a game, that I could check that out. But if it's a movie, I'm not quite sure if I'll become a fan. But if it's interesting to
Sounds like it
know,
would be a game if it's a Five Nights ripoff because Five Nights
Yeah.
just came out.
Yeah.
yep, I just said that. Yes.
And we saw that one. Joanne says Friday the 13th. I like Saturday the 14th.
I like that movie with Richard Benjamin. That was great.
Gary just finished watching American Horror Story. You know, Gary, I'm having a hard time getting into it this year. I don't know why. Is it really good? Should I watch it?
I haven't watched any of those.
Yeah.
You know what I did just watch? It was brilliant, I thought. Fall of the House of Usher.
Oh yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah. Yeah. I started it. I haven't finished it yet though.
I like that.
Robusta says Wally's Wonderland was a movie with Nicolas Cage.
Oh yeah, now I remember that thing. I never saw it, but I remember when it came out.
Yeah. And Sheila says I was watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is one of my favorite all-time movies. I've seen it like 150 times, and I used to be when I lived in Burlington, Vermont, many years ago. I used to be part of the cast that would go up in front of the screen and act it out.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that must have been fun.
It was a lot of fun. And Gary says, if you didn't watch it, you're not missing much. It was just okay. Yeah, I heard that about American Horror Story, that it's just not that good this season. And I kind of watched a few minutes of it, and like the cast, I wasn't that excited about. And
I just think to myself, you know, Willy's Wonderland.
It's Willy's Wonderland, not Wally's.
Well,
Willy, Wally, Wolmy, Willy, shouldy, couldy.
But someday I'll be in the movie for sure. That's one of my other goals, to be in the movie someday.
Ah.
Because I haven't been to any movies at all. I've been dreaming about it sometimes. And went back and watched American Horror Story Asylum. One person came for treats. We had to go to the streets to give out candy. We watched Addams Family outside, a bit nippy, 45 degrees. And I'm a big fan of Addams Family as well.
The two Addams Family movies with Raul Julia are just fantastic. Those are great movies. And the old black and white Addams Family TV show was great too.
Oh yeah. And neither did you know that Lyric Theater did an Addams Family musical one year.
Yep.
And I got to go see that, and I was just mind blown by that. Especially when my character Lurch sings at the end. Oh my god, it was just outstanding.
So, and then we got this question: who were you, Russell?
Well,
did you step out of the room when I showed my Halloween costume?
No, I'm not. The Rocky Horror.
In Rocky Horror. Now I got it because he wrote, I had a lover who would do Riff. I was not Riff.
He was my character.
I used to do actually a couple of different people, but Dr. Scott and Meatloaf mostly.
I was gonna say Dr. Scott and Meatloaf.
My favorite character.
Yeah.
Meatloaf again?
I blanking hate Meatloaf.
But now we're in November, so it's my birthday month.
Oh, well, thank God. We were worried. When's your birthday, Big J?
November 27th. That's
right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Very nice. Are you going to have a big celebration?
I think so. Just don't know where yet.
You're going to invite Amber?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll invite Amber this time because I thought Amber's a great person, so I'm going to invite her this time to my... Oh, thank you.
Oh. And we should get Amber to come up and sing. And look, Joanne's having a birthday this month too. Happy
November
birthday.
10th. My mom's birthday is
November 10th. That's the same day as BC.
November 14th. So I'll make sure to wish her a happy birthday too.
I was looking for BC last night, by the way, Rocco.
I'm sure you were.
Of
He's
course,
crazy enough to be like, I don't go to that anymore.
yeah, right.
He'd go dressed as he was a Conan O'Brien impersonator. He'd call himself Clonam. He was great. He'd go around doing the whole shtick, and everybody loved it. It was hilarious.
So yep, I have a lot of stuff coming up. Thank you, Emerald. I appreciate that.
And she also said she was fortunate enough to meet John Aston, who
Wow.
was a really nice guy.
That's good.
That would have been fun to meet him.
I only met John Ratzenberger one time at an event. That was about it. Never met any other famous people.
John who?
John Ratzenberger.
From Cheers?
Cliff.
Yep.
Cheers.
Oh, okay. So here's a question for you, Big J. Have you ever seen the horror movie Motel Hell?
I was gonna say you should.
Motel Hell. I should look into that.
John Rastenberger is in it, but I won't tell you much more. It's an old 1980s movie.
It's the greatest movie ever made.
It's kind of bad, but it
is fantastic. I have it on Blu-ray. It's great.
But it's fun. And he is in it. So
yeah, he is.
Oh, here's a question.
Do I dare ask what he is?
He's an old roommate of mine. It's called his BC. His first name is really Bruce. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all you need to know. And Robusta Cap says Motel Hell is fantastic.
It is Robusta. It is fantastic.
Oh, nice.
Love that movie.
It's a crazy movie.
I haven't watched that in forever. I might have to watch it tonight now.
Yeah, I made Jack watch it a couple weeks ago in our horror movie stint. And
oh yeah,
we got to the end and he said, "Wow, that was a bad movie." But we were laughing because the older gentleman in it who plays the farmer is actually a famous actor. What?
It was Clu Gulager, right?
No, it's Rory Calhoun.
Rory Calhoun. That's right.
Who I didn't realize, and I didn't know a lot about Rory Calhoun, but what clicked when I saw the credits and it said Rory Calhoun, and I was like, wait a minute. Do you remember the episode of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns gets all the puppies and they're doing the 101 Dalmatians spoof?
Yeah.
And Mr. Burns is taking the puppies out of a box and he sets one down and it stands up on its hind legs. And Mr. Burns looks at Smithers and says, "Oh, that reminds me of something." And Smithers is like, "A bear, a pig on two legs." And Burns is like, no, of a person. And Smithers starts naming names and every time he names a name, Mr. Burns is like, no. And then Mr. Burns looks at Smithers and says, "You know who I mean. He's always standing and walking."
Yeah.
And Smithers goes, "Oh, Rory Calhoun." It's like, what? And that's really the only reference I knew Rory Calhoun from.
That's hilarious.
And
I remember that.
I'm like, oh, Rory Calhoun. Now I know who he is.
And do you remember who played his sister?
Yeah, the Beulah Ballbreaker. Beulah Ballbreaker from Porky's.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an all-star cast in Motel Hell.
It kind of is.
And Sheila says, "Have you seen the movie Chucky?" No,
yes, I've seen that.
I've seen all the Chucky movies, and I saw the I've been watching the series too that's on now.
But anyway, so speaking of special entertainment, I'm going back to the Flint right after my birthday on November 29th because Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer the musical is making a return to the Flint stage.
What musical is?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer the musical.
Okay.
It's coming to the Flint Theater, and I'm wearing the outfit right now because I know that they're coming on my birthday month. So
nice.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
So I'm gonna dress. Well, get this. I'm gonna dress half Rudolph for that.
Good for
Hey,
you.
half Rudolph. What's the other half gonna be?
Well, the only thing
He's
is
not
that-
going to dress.
Yep.
You're gonna be naked, aren't you?
Well, it's just gonna be half Rudolph. So I'm just gonna be wearing, the top part and the red nose, and that's about it. And then wear this and wear something else for another month. But I'll be half Rudolph.
Crazy. So Stacy says Chucky scares her to death.
Oh,
Malta Scott wants to know if you ever saw Sleepaway Camp filmed in Lake George about a transvestite murdering camper named Angela. I saw Sleepaway Camp, but long time ago. I don't really remember it.
Malta Scott, I've been to Lake George. I have been there, but I never got to see that movie.
And you may not want to. You'll be too scared to go back. Gary Buck says I have seen the new Monsters, Gary, and Gary says it's about how Lily and Herman met, and it's funny. It is.
Is that the one Rob Zombie directed?
Did he direct the new Monsters?
The movie?
Yeah.
Like a year or so ago?
Yeah, this is older than that, I think.
And speaking of horror movies, my favorite one is...
Oh, no. No, you are... It says... You are correct. It is from 2022. Okay, and it is Rob Zombie. I didn't realize it was that new.
Yeah.
Yeah, I streamed it not too long ago.
I tried watching it. I turned it off pretty quick.
It's very different from the Munsters, and yeah. So Sleepaway Camp 1 and 2 are great fun. I wish Felicia Rose would come back for second and third movies.
I was explaining my favorite horror movie was Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, that's the old one or the new one?
Both ones are great, but I have to choose. The newer one is a lot more.
It's more. Yeah.
And then
Stacey says there was a Chucky maze at Hollywood Horror Nights.
Oh, I saw that video. Yes.
That sounds scary.
I've seen some videos of people doing Halloween Horror Nights, and that's another thing on top of my bucket list in the future to go to that.
I saw someone last night at the parade wearing a Jason mask, but carrying a Chucky doll.
Oh, my. Did you see any bands playing down there?
See any what?
Do you see any bands?
There were bands in the what I want to say, there were bands in the parade on the floats.
Oh, cool.
And we have one last picture coming in here.
Oh boy, that's
came in. This is from Ron Gephardt in New Orleans.
Let's check it out.
There he is with some people we met down there. I don't think that was for Halloween though, right, Ron? But a great picture. Looks like you were out partying.
Yep, and so yeah.
So what else? Anybody?
Yep.
Trying to think of some other good scary movies, but
there's so many of them.
I know.
So I went last week to see Elsa Lanchester, She's Alive, which was a one-woman show about the actress who played the Bride of Frankenstein.
Okay, I was going to say, she is still alive?
No, she's not still alive.
I didn't think so.
No, it was actually great. The show was funny and learned a lot about her and her gay husband, Charles Lawton, and their relationship, and that was pretty contentious from the sounds of it. And then Jack and I watched 2 nights ago a Charles Lawton film, The Dark Old House or something like that. It was so bad. So bad. Old black and white movie about some people stranded at a house with a strange group of people. Oh,
Mm.
here we go. Ron says, I was a lonely old man vampire wandering through the New Orleans Halloween parade, shooting a film.
But anyway,
And Stacy says, no Bloody Valentine fans. Of course there are Bloody Valentine.
oh, I love that one too. I forgot about that one.
I haven't seen that in forever.
Stacy's taking off. Good night, Stacy. See you
Good night.
Sunday.
Hey, Stacy. And speaking of, special events, I actually went through Nightmare Vermont again this year.
Again, you went last year.
I know I went last year and I went again this year. It was great.
Ah. And Malta Scott says the RNC was very scary.
That's for sure.
Oh, goodness. Yes, it was.
Sounds like it.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, we've been on here for about an hour.
And it's 9:15.
Exactly an hour.
1 hour and 37 seconds. For those keeping count, I'm glad you all had a wonderful Halloween, and Big J had some fun out there. It looks like everybody had some fun and some great costumes. And
Oh yeah,
what a good discussion of horror movies we had tonight. We barely even touched on dinner.
Well, it was great seeing everybody here, and of course, all the costumes came in today. And who do we have tonight that were here? I know we saw Sheila and
Robusta Cap, and we had Joanne, and we had Ron, and we had Stacy and Scott and Flower Fan, and this guy Big J, whoever he is,
right here.
We had a good crowd tonight. Gary was here, the Buck Bunch. We love having them in, so that's always a good thing. So it was a good discussion, even if Amber couldn't show up.
I can't talk.
Shout out to Amber and Bob for another opportunity at Lyric Theater.
And Scott says we held the ship perfectly. And Gary Buck says, I like the sailing version of Nosferatu, and he meant the silent version.
Oh. Like, wait, sailing version? That sounds.
I was wondering, Gary, till you. Robusta Cap says, send my love to Amber, and Scott says, Amber who? So thank you, everyone. Have a great evening, and we'll see you in December. Actually, we'll see you Sunday. But
what the hell are you talking about?
Sunday. We've got 2 great guests coming up. So I'll talk to you all soon. Good night.
Great to see you.